Patrick.
Each day, our day will start at 8:10, and everyone will pull up in their cars and they will drop off. We also have our 6th graders out there doing one of their stewardship projects, and they open the doors and they help everyone get out and in their lines quickly. But we line up out there, and then Mr. Ritter will get to come and talk to us.
All the time? All right. We have a lot of
While we're
energy.
outside, our teachers all come in here and they get in a circle and they do give intentions. They pray for our school and they pray for our day, and we start our day.
So right now we're on our way to the preschool room. We have 4 different sessions of preschool, 2 groups that come Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they each have a portion of the day, a half day, either in the morning or afternoon. And we also have 2 groups that come on Tuesday and Thursday, also split into 2 parts of the day.
Thumbs up, elbows back, feet apart, knees together.
When a child comes to our school, our number one goal with that child is to assess him as a person or her as a person, and then we assess the academic skills as soon as possible. Because as soon as we have that, then we know what the needs are and we know what the strengths are. We talk about that all the time as a staff, as a faculty, and that's differentiation. Not just differentiating the way we teach, but it's also differentiating the way we treat each child. Because we want them all to be successful. They got to be successful as a person first, and then successful academically second.
My name is Bobby Thomas. I'm a freshman at Mount Michael Benedictine, and last year I graduated from St. Patrick's School in Elkhorn. When I walked into Mount Michael, I felt like I was ready from day one. Expectations at St. Pat's were real high, just to prepare you for high school.
But it's really more than that. It's more than just academic. We want them to be well-rounded individuals. We want them to have a faith formation, and we want them to be productive members of our Christian society.
All the teachers treat you like they treat you like you're their own children. Like they love you, they care about you, they make you behave.
And then once you have that, then you can do the teaching of the skills of whether they're teaching math, science, or social studies. Of course, they're coming with those things as strengths, but the major thing we're looking for are character skills. And then when they have that, they model that, that's what our kids are saying.
At St. Patrick's, one of the things that we're most pleased about is the way that the children actually live their faith. We don't necessarily do that in a humdrum way, do we, Maggie?
No.
3, 2, 1.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1 Peter, 2 Peter, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, Jude, Revelations.
And that's the revelation that God will always be with us, and He'll be with you as well.
One of the other things that makes us very special was our pastor, Father Ron, who was very supportive of the school, but his goal, his job, is to teach the gospel, and he does an excellent job of that. Not just on Sundays, but every Tuesday and Thursday morning we have Mass. The whole school gets to go. The day before that Mass, he'll pick out a class. In that class, he'll read the gospel with them in the readings, and then Father Ron sits down with them, and together they put together a little skit that speaks to what Jesus wants to come across to the children during Mass. So they do that skit at Mass. Father Ron and Father Tom, our resident assistant, they talk to the students right after that, so they understand what the message is that Jesus wants to have taught to those students. It's entertaining, but it's very, very beneficial for these kids. Parents come, parishioners come, everybody enjoys it. It's a great learning atmosphere. You know, a lot of times because we're a Catholic school, people don't understand that we're a strong Christian school, and you do not have to be Catholic to go to our school. You have to believe in high academic behavior and spiritual standards. That's what we're about. In fact, that's why a lot of non-Catholics send their children here. So we are a Catholic school, and yes, we teach a Catholic faith. But as much of that, we teach to be a good person, and we know that's why you want to come here.
We started out with our oldest child in a public school, and we felt like he was missing out on something. He'd started religious formation, and we were walking down the halls of a different church. We lived in a different area at that time, and we see all these pictures. It was around Christmas time, and they had all these Christmas pictures and things that the public school, they weren't doing there because they didn't feel like they could talk about Christmas, and so that's when we started looking around. And when we met Dawn, we were so impressed with the school and with the kids and how they go out of their way to have the kids greet you when you walk in. And I feel like St. Pat's cares enough to teach these kids how to interact with each other and how to be good Christian people towards each other, and that was very important to us, and we feel like that's been a huge difference between the schools. And we like the fact that they can talk about God and pray to God and celebrate holidays that we grew up celebrating. You know, it's a different public school system now than when we grew up, and so that's why we had looked around and fell in love with St. Pat's, because we feel like they're getting all of that plus a great education as well.
Some of the things that we're really excited about are obviously the fact that we have new facilities all around.
A new science lab, which is unique because our science lab is going to be for all kindergarten through 8th grade. It's not just a lab for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade or 7th and 8th grades. It's for everybody to use.
An extension from that laboratory will also be 2 outdoor classrooms where we can actually have class outdoors and be using that experience, as well as a greenhouse. And if I can get those kids outside and looking around and applying that and doing labs, and it takes that whole science experience to the next level.
The computer lab, currently we have 32 computers. We have a set time aside for each class that they can actually come in for 35 to 40 minutes and be able to work on specific tasks. We'll get into word processing, some general programs like Word and Publisher, PowerPoint, get into some more creative projects and try to make sure that everything goes along with what the classroom teachers are teaching as well. And let's say, for instance, that they're working on poetry, then I can actually, incorporate some of my lessons as far as Word and using tabs to create nice straight lines, using headers, footers. If it's something more on the math side, we can be doing graphing. We can work a lot with Excel and teach some of the older students how to AutoSum and how to work with some of the programs in Excel to further their classroom development. We have projectors in each of the classrooms and also in the computer lab, where everything that I'm doing on the computer, my students can watch me doing it, so it's a lot easier to teach them, to be able to show them exactly what I'm doing without having everyone crowded around my computer.
Hello, welcome to Spanish class at St. Patrick's School. Me llamo Señora Johnson. My name is Mrs. Johnson, and these are my estudiantes, my students. We do have specials here at the school. What specials are is an addition to the core subjects that we teach here at St. Pat's. One of the specials being Spanish. We also have physical education and music, which is an all year round curriculum as well.
When I was in junior high and even in high school, I didn't really like music all that much. I didn't like to sing. And so as a teacher, my first objective beyond learning is to have the students enjoy themselves in class. And I think if they're enjoying themselves, that will create an interest in music. And so with them, it's getting past that, getting past their insecurities and their self-consciousness, and getting them to enjoy singing and understanding that, hey, it's not only fun, but it's cool. And St. Patrick's is just a great environment for that. Mr. Ritter has given me permission, if you will, to just come in and make this class fun and make it educational.
I think it's very important for the students to have an actual art lab, an art room. You can do much larger projects, you can do larger paintings, you can do 3D art. I love my room. This is the best room I've had so far. It's amazing. I love the natural light, I love the track lighting, I love the sinks, the floors, everything. It's a great layout. They did a good job. Right outside, there's an outdoor classroom. On nice days, we've gone out there already and used that to work on some of our drawings. It's much better to have the natural light. Other resources in here, we have a kiln room. So when we work on clay, we have the access to the room right off of this room. But I think it's very important to be inspired by art and to have a vibrant room to come into. You don't want a dull art room. Even just the colors and the floor and the walls are all a place, sparks creativity in the students.
There are a lot of administrators in the city who live behind their desks, who do their job in managing the school, and Mr. Ritter is not that kind of principal. He's out and involved. He starts his morning with parking lot duty. He's in the lunchroom. He's in our classrooms. He knows what's going on. He knows the names of the students, and he greets them and has a relationship with each of them, and that's what really makes the difference. He supports his teachers in their ability and in their job to teach the children and to really work toward our mission to teach as Jesus did.
Our son Xavier was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes the first week of 3rd grade. The diagnosis was such a shock in the first place, and then we were so concerned of all the school that he had missed, and when we came back, how he was going to do his testing and take his insulin shots, and how he was going to eat and count the carbohydrates, and we just couldn't imagine how we were going to handle that with him being away from us, with him being at school. We were so grateful to have the staff at St. Pat's just open their arms to us and help us like they did. They thought of us as family, and they didn't hesitate. They jumped right in, and these wonderful women and Mr. Ritter helped us, called us on the phone, helped us do his checks, and gave him shots. And I can't imagine him going to another school. I can't imagine any other place opening their arms like they did. We're so grateful that we have St. Pat's in our lives.
Have a great day.
Every day when I come into school and every day when I leave school, I feel that strong community. Even when I'm not at school and I see people around at the grocery store or at the park or wherever it may be, it's a strong, strong community.
I've been here for 3 years and my students are absolutely wonderful. The people I work with live the way Jesus would want to live. They teach the way Jesus teaches, and it's a place where your heart really stays. I don't think even the people that graduate from St. Patrick's ever truly leave, because they come back for Mass, they come back to see our children, they come back to visit, and for me, St. Patrick's has been a wonderful place where I have learned to grow, and I think I've become a better teacher due to the people that I work with.
My favorite thing about St. Patrick's is the family environment with the classrooms.
All of our friends try to really help out. No one's really against each other. We're all just really good pals here.
It's been a real blessing for me not only to meet a lot of people coming in the door, but to meet a lot of the students as well.
You do have to work very hard at this school. It's a challenge, but it makes you feel good when you get something right.
I'm very thankful that I decided to volunteer here at St. Pat's, and there's no place I'd rather be on Tuesday and Thursday mornings.
My favorite thing about St. Patrick's is all the friendly and loving teachers. They really help you when you need it.
St. Pat's has prepared me as a gentleman, spiritually, and it's prepared me for what's out there.
What would Jesus do? Well, Jesus is a perfect teacher. Well, he's also the perfect disciple, and our children we're teaching them and expect them to be good little disciples of Jesus. Do what he would do, which of course is be kind, have the courage, and have the confidence to be the best you can be, no matter what you're doing. You can do it. So maybe that's part of the difference.